say hello? Say hi. Oh, my choppers. Okay. Hi, queens and kings, and welcome back to One Voice. Fridays are for story times, so if you want to hear about the time that I dragged my college roommate, stay tuned. Now, I had gone to college. It was right out of high school. I had gone to this college because my friend at the time, she was going to this college. So I didn't even think about having like any other college options. I was just like, this is my girl. This is my friend. We're going to call her Flower. I'm like, Flower is my friend. So I'm going to pick the same college that she's going to pick. It was a Catholic. It was a Catholic school, a Catholic university. And I never really got into like the Catholic religion when I was way younger. I know my family started off as being Catholics, but I never really got like deep into it. But I was just like, this is a faith kind of school, so what could go wrong? So Flower ended up getting accepted to the university, and so did I. And I was so excited because I was like, okay, this is my girl. I'm going to be the first one to actually complete college. I'm going to college. I'm so excited. Let's go. So I remember going to campus on the first day and unloading all of my things, and it seemed like I had a roommate. But she wasn't in the dorm at the time. So I unloaded my stuff. I blasted my music because that's what it was like all down the hall. And as I'm blasting my music, there were different like roommates from the same row, in the same hallway, coming to visit, introducing themselves and things like that. So a few hours go by, and then I start to see this girl walk towards me. And I'm like, okay, she must be coming to my room. She must be my roommate. Sure enough, she was my roommate, and we were going to call her Frisky because she was frisky and she was Etch-a-Sketch. So she came into the room and she introduced herself. She's like, hi, I'm Frisky. I'm like, hi, I'm Jenny. I'm super excited. She's super excited. She was on like a softball team there. So she's like, talking about how she's excited that she's on the softball team and how she got scholarships and how it was just like the best thing for her to be in this university. And I was like, cool. Because in the back of my head, I'm like, I followed a friend. Like, I followed a friend. Okay, so I was like, okay, I followed a friend. It don't matter. I'm glad that you actually have something going for you. I'm going to figure out my major and, I'm going to keep pushing and I'm going to graduate. And during this time, she seemed really cool. She seemed like she was down to earth, really focused on school, wanting to maintain friendships. At first, we got along really well. But then time started to go by and I started to notice something real off with her. And I was like, I don't know. Like, I don't know about her. She started off cool, but then she started to like be a little fake. And I was confused because like we're roommates. If you hear my cats in the background, just don't mind. But anyway, so I was like, we're roommates, so why are you being a little sketchy? But I just kind of let it go because at this time I had established really good friends. I established really good friends on my floor. So I never really seen her all like that. Besides when we would, go to bed, but sometimes she would, spend the night with her other friends on her team, which that was cool. I got the room to myself. So everything was fine and dandy, so I thought. And then one day we went to a place called The Cove. And The Cove is like basically like a mini kind of like restaurant, a mini Sheetz maybe, mini hangout, mini gas station, but with no pumps. It was like a nice chill station that was open late night. So we're at The Cove, me and my friends, and I started to get hungry. And at The Cove, like, you have things that you can buy, but I had left my wallet in my room. So I told my friends, I said, I'll be right back. I'm going to go to my room. I'm going to get my wallet. And the way that our room is set up, as soon as you walked into the door, there were bunk beds. So like we decided to bunk our beds because it would give us more room in our little room that we had, you know, to just have different pieces of furniture and our desk and things like that. So I took my key, I went back to my room, and when I opened my door, I looked to my right, and there goes Frisky with a guy. And they're doing things, okay? I'm not gonna go into it. They're doing things. And here I am just like, and they froze. And I'm minding my own business because I see it on the side of my eye, but I'm like, let me just go and ignore the fact that they're doing their thing and let me just grab my wallet. So I grabbed my wallet, and then at the side of my eye again, I realized that they look like they was on the bottom bunk. The bottom bunk is where I reside. It's where my comforter is, where my stuffed animals are, where my books are. And I'm like, I know that Frisky is not getting frisky on my bed. Oh, hell no! So I made it really awkward for them. And I was like, you need to get off my bed. I told her that she needed to buy me new sheets. She needs to buy me a new comforter. She needs to buy me a new daggone stuffed animal because you guys are doing things on my bed and my personal comfort zone and my space. So now everything needs replaced. And keep in mind, I said this while they were still paused. I didn't care because it's my bed. I was so upset. And after I said that, I just walked out the door and I went back to the cove. I told my friends what was going on. And they was like, oh, that's a shame. She should not do that. One of my friends wanted to fight her. I'm like, no, as long as she replaces my stuff, I'm good because I literally put the fear in her, so she should not do that again. So after all that was said and done, my friend said that I could sleep in her room with her roommate. So I did that for the night and it was cool. The next day when I woke up, Frisky, I had gone back to the room, and Frisky, she had bought me a new comforter, new sheets, new everything, new stuffed animal. She went in, like she bought me everything. So I was like, all right, I forgive you. That's cool. Just please do not do that again. And she did not do it again. She did not do it again, but things progressively started to get worse. So one day after my class, I was real tired. I said, I'm gonna go back to my room. I'm gonna take a nap. And when I walked in, her and a group of her friends that, you know, she met and that's on her team were doing some illegal things. And they were also taking shots in the room. And I was like, okay, you know, this is none of my business. This ain't none of my business. I ain't got nothing to do with this. I'm gonna take me a nap. But I also went to my other friend's room to take a nap because I was not trying to get no contact to anything. And no, I was not a saint in college, but I knew that because I still had a class later that day, so if my teacher would have smelled anything, then they would have came after me. So I took my little nap, I got back up, went to my class, and then finally came to my room for the night. So the next day, I ended up telling my friends what was going on in the room, you know, and just telling them that I had nothing to do with it. And, you know, she better not get caught because she'll get kicked off the team and so on and so forth. As I was in the middle of talking, Frisky had come into the cove because I was like the chill spot. So Frisky had come into the cove and she pulled me aside and she said how, you know, she can't get caught, how she would get expelled or get kicked off the team if, you know, anyone knew what she was doing. I was straight up and honest, like I always am. And I told her, I said, well, I told my friends, I said, because I don't want nothing to do with it. And they wanted to know why I slept in the room. And she's like, well, that's fine. She's like, as long as the teachers don't know, because I could seriously get expelled for this. I told her, I said, like I said, ain't got nothing to do with me. You keep to your stuff. You do what you want. It's college. Do what you want. You're a grown woman. I'm gonna do what I want. Just, you know, keep your distance. Make sure that your stuff doesn't get mixed with my things. And I just want to reiterate that for a minute. I want to stop the story time and reiterate that for a minute. I said, make sure that your stuff does not get mixed in with my things. Okay, just want to make sure that we all heard that because I know that she heard it too. And somehow her stuff got mixed with my things. So let me tell you about that. So The dorm leaders, they are like the leaders of each floor. They're upperclassmen. They had pulled out a surprise dorm visit. Now, a surprise dorm visit is when they come into your room and they check your room. They check your room for alcohol. They check your room for illegal substances. They check your room for any and everything that would violate policy. So like they check your room if a boy was staying over the night, they'll check your room, and so on and so forth. We did not know when these things were going to happen because obviously it's a surprise because they are trying to catch you in the act so you can get in trouble. So I happened to hang around the right people at the right time, and one of the dorm leaders, she was one of my friends. So she told me when there was going to be a surprise inspection. Me, I had nothing to worry about. I said, I ain't got nothing on me. I'm good. Like, I went to like college parties and things like that, but I never took anything back with me. So I'm good. You know, thank you for telling me at this date, at this time, we're going to do a surprise inspection, and I'm good. I'm fine. So what a loyal friend does at the time, she tells her friends. This is the date of the surprise inspection. Make sure that all your stuff is hidden somewhere else. Or like we had our windows. Our windows were conveniently, like, because we were on the first floor, so it was conveniently like right near the grass. So you could literally put something right outside the window and nobody would ever know. Just shut your blinds, you put outside the window, you're good. And no one would see it. So just say they opened the blinds, they still can't see it because it was like a little like divot. So it was perfect. So I was telling my friends this and they were like, you know, Jenny, we appreciate you. We love you, period. So here comes the day of the I can't even speak because it's stupid. Okay. Here comes the day of the surprise inspection. Okay. And I had gone into the room because I was going to go to my friend's room to get ready because we were going to go out to a college party that night. So I was just grabbing a few things from my room, and there goes Frisky again with her friends doing all this illegal stuff. I did not like Frisky at this time, so I wasn't gonna say nothing. I was just gonna let them get, you know, get them surprise inspection on, and that's your fault. It is what it is. So I left the room, and as I was leaving the room, I started to see the dorm leaders all like bunched up getting ready to talk. And after they were gonna finish their meeting, that's when they were going to inspect rooms. Our room was clearly on the first floor, so they had maybe like, I think it was like 5 doors down until they got to our room. So I just walked away. I looked at my dorm leader friend. I was like, bye, you know, you have a great night. I'm out of here. So I go to this college party. I'm jamming, I'm vibing. And then I get a text from the dorm leader, and she said that I need to talk to her when I get back. And I'm like, okay. I'm thinking that she's going to tell me, like, she's going to spill the tea. She's going to spill the tea so I get to see who got caught and what, you know, college. You know, I want the tea. I'm here for the tea, and it needs to be piping hot. So I was like, you need to spill the tea. I'm excited. I'll see you when I get back. So when I get back, the dorm leader, she ended up pulling me into the office. And when I went into the office, I seen Frisky sitting there. And I was like, okay, you know, if this has to do with Frisky, then why am I involved? So the dorm leader, she tells me, she said, I want to make sure that I have you two sitting down because I want to go over what we found in the room inspection. And long story short, they found some illegal things stored in my stuff, in my boots, in my jackets, under my bed. Like the mattress, they found things stored in my personal belongings. You guys don't understand how fast I was like,
what? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
and cracked my neck towards Frisky because I was like, hold up.
I said, do you
Hold on.
wanna fight me?
This is not mine. Like, this is not mine. So why are things in my things? Then the dorm leader says that it's been brought to her attention that Frisky has not said anything, and that basically the things that were found in my stuff and found in her stuff they were all like collectively mine. And Frisky was not denying it. Meanwhile, it was definitely hers. It was not mine. None of this was mine. I didn't, drink with your friends or, smoked with your friends or did any other things with your friends. Like, this was all you. But I was getting the blame for it. So I sat there. I was like, okay. I said, well, I need to talk to somebody higher because this stuff is not mine. So the dorm leader was like, okay, well, it's late. We're going to revisit this in the morning. I just wanted to bring to your attention what was said, what was not spoken, so we could, get an understanding. So we left. I went back to my friend's room because there was no way that I was going to sleep in there with Frisky because I would have knocked her out. I would have knocked her out. I really would have. So I was like, I need to cool down. I texted the dorm leader. I said, she is a liar. And the dorm leader's like, I know, because I told you, and I know how you are, and I know how she is. I'm not sure why she lied, but it's okay. I'm gonna make sure you don't get in trouble. So I went back to my friend's room and I was livid. I was so upset. I was banging things off of walls. I was throwing things. I was like, literally, like, fire was in my eyes. Fire. And I told my friends that I was just gonna talk to her tomorrow, figure out why she lied, talk to the dorm leaders, and that's basically it, because she better have a good excuse. So the next day, I had gone to class, and Frisky, she ended up seeing me before I seen her. And she pulled me aside, and she's like, Jenny, you have to take the fault for this. I was like, okay, that's not what I expected you to say. What are you talking about? She said, you have to take the fault for this. I'm going to get expelled. I'm going to get kicked off the team. I'm going to get my scholarships revoked. And she was just like crying. She was upset because she's like, all this is going to happen to me. And I looked at her in her face and I said, well, you should have never did the things that you're doing. You don't. And if you're going to do the thing that you're doing, don't get caught. Like, what? And you want me to take the blame because of something that you did. And I told her straight up, I said, I'm not going to take the blame for this because I could get expelled. I could leave, and that's not what I want to do. At this time, I have developed, that I was going to school for communications, which is what I went to school for. So I was like, at this time, I have gotten a actual career that I wanted to do, and you're not about to ruin this for me on my first year. And at this time as well, I was still homeless. So this was legit all that I had. And I told her, I said, you're not going to ruin this for me. So she stomped her feet and she turned around and walked away. When she turned around, her ponytail hit me in the face. And I said, Lord Jesus, do not let me drag her. Do not let me drag her because I've reached my boiling point with this girl. And I was good. I was fine. I was already requesting a new roommate at this time for me to move in with one of my other roommates because her roommate ended up transferring to a different school. And I was like, I'm good. Me and Frisky do not have no type of relationship anymore. Let it be. At this point, I'm good. We had gone to the meeting and I can't remember what they're called, but one of the leaders, they ended up giving us a warning, because of what, happened. So I was just preparing myself to just leave Frisky alone, get my new roommate, and go on about my college days. Until I started hearing rumors that she was talking about me. So I'm okay if you're talking about me. If you're talking about me, that's fine. That's your mouth. You're allowed to say what you want. But she was starting to tell different dorm leaders that I had possession of a bunch of illegal things, which I did not. So I'm like, okay, you got a warning the first time when it should have just been you, but you got a warning. But now you're going to go around saying that I have this, that, and the third, and having dorm leaders surprise dorm search every week. I'm not about it. So then she said that she wanted to fight me and that, she hopes that the dorm leaders catch me. And during this time, she started stashing her things continuously in my things. I told her that if she touched my stuff again, it was going to be a wrap. And I'm not a fighter. I'm not a fighter. I've only fought maybe 5 times in my whole life. I'm not a fighter. But I knew that if I fought her, I was gonna black out. Like, it was gonna be a wrap. So one of my friends who was the dorm leader, she ended up messaging me and saying that she went to check our room and Frisky had stashed some stuff in my things once again. And not only did Frisky stash things in my things, but she was wearing my shirt. I was so confused. I said, okay. I said, that's it. So I literally jumped up from the cove. Me and my friends, all three of us were getting ready to jump her. So I went to the room and I tried to put my key in, but she kept locking the door, so she wouldn't let me in. So at this point, it's like 11 at night, and I'm banging on my door. I'm like, let me in. Let me in. I'm like, this is my room. And I just went off. I'm like, this is my room. You're over here stashing things in my stuff. This is all your fault. I'm just going. Fire's in my eyes. And I'm like, if she don't let me in, I'm going to kick our door down. So she finally opened the door. And she only opened it like halfway, so like I could only see her face. And she was like, no, I'm not letting you in. And she just started cussing me out. She was cussing me out, saying like, it's all my fault that she's on a warning list, and this is my fault, and all this other stuff, and that's why she's wearing my shirt, and just all these other things, saying how like she peed on my stuff. Like, she was just going in saying all of the things that she's done or that she wants to do to me at this point. So I'm like, if you're about it, I'm about it. Now my friend, my friend on the left of me, she pushes the door in, okay? She pushes the door in and she's like, we'll fight. She said, Jenny don't even have to fight. I'll fight. Let's go. And me being me, I'm like, no, I've been waiting for this moment all my life. Like you're not, but I said, listen, girl, you can jump in or we can like swap out. I said, but I'm getting the first hit because, I've been waiting for this moment for way too long. It's long overdue. So, Frisky, as all this is happening, Frisky is still yelling and screaming at me. And what she decides to do is she decides to push the door so that it slams in our faces. So the door slams in our faces. My friend, big bulk, she's ready, pushes the door open again, and Frisky, from the depth of her throat, spits right in my face. Listen, right then and there, I seen the police lights. I swear, I seen the police lights. Everything went dark. Like, it went dark. I heard the sirens. I heard it. I said, the cops are gonna come and get me today. And when I say I blacked out, I literally blacked out. I grabbed Frisky by her hair and I dragged her down the hallway, out the door, and down the stairs, and just started. I didn't even listen. She didn't even get a chance to get a hit in. That was the first time that I really went ham on somebody. Like, she didn't get a chance. We were outside. There was a crowd around us, and I was just bap, because that's one thing you don't do. You do not spit in my face. So all of a sudden, campus security, the police, all I see is sirens, I see lights, and campus security, he is just this big black guy. And I have to emphasize that because it's funny. But he's this big black guy, and he just grabbed me. And he's like, oh my goodness, like, what's going on? What's going on? I'm like, she spit in my face, she spit in. And I'm just like, yelling and screaming. Poor Frisky down there bleeding. I have some of her hair in my hand. I literally went off. So they separated us. The campus security was there. The dorm leads was there. The superintendent was there, and they were like over there on my side. And I said, listen, I don't ever get like this. Like, this is not me. I said, if you guys want to expel me, then you can expel me, but this is not me. Like, she pushed me to my breaking point. And I told them everything. I told them about the drugs. I told them about the alcohol, and about her doing stuff on my bed and stashing stuff in my things. I told them everything. And then I told them that she spit in my face. And the security guard, he's like, she spit in your face? I'm like, yeah. He's like, oh, no. He's like, you don't spit in black people's faces. I anybody's face. Like, you don't do that. Like, who told you to grab that from your esophagus and to let it go? Like, who told you to do that? You know, so I was just telling them, we was all laughing at this point. You know, she over there crying, which she should be, but we was cracking up at this point because I'm like, you know, I felt like I had every right to do what I had to do. I was defending myself. Like, that was gross. So after that, the superintendent and the security and everybody, they put me in my own room in like an upper class dormitory. So I was in that room and I really liked it. I said, please transfer me here. Like, these people are not mature. So they put me in an upper class dormitory and, you know, I went to bed all peaceful, you know, not knowing what was going to happen the next day, but it is what it is. So the next day I went to the security. They told me that I can go to my room. And in my head, I'm thinking that I'm going to my room to get all of my things because I'm ready to move into somebody else's room. So, you know, I could have a better roommate than her. When I went into my room, all of her things were gone. She was expelled. And I was good. I was so excited. I said, yes. I steamed washed all of her sheets. No, I didn't steam wash her sheets. I threw her sheets out. I steam washed the bed because she was frisky. So I steam washed her bed and everything. And I put the two beds together and I had this jumbo bed. I didn't even transfer to a different room anymore because I had my own room now. So I had the jumbo bed. I had two desks. I had everything laid out the way that I wanted to. And I ended up having my own room. And that's basically it. She was expelled. I never heard from her again. I didn't see her. You know, I went to my dorm leader and she was saying how that same night they told her that she needed to get all of her stuff. Her mom came up and picked her up and she was so upset. Like, her mother was so upset for the fact that she spit in my face. Like, it wasn't because of her, you know, getting expelled. It was the fact that she spit in my face and she went that low the way that she did. So, like I said, she ended up leaving. A few weeks later, I did end up getting a letter from her mom that was sent to my mailbox in the dorm. And she was just apologizing for, you know, her daughter's behavior and how, you know, she deserved it and all this other stuff. And I was like, you know, I appreciate that. Like, that's honestly, because no mother would do that. Usually mothers would stick up for their daughters, but she knew she was wrong. So, you know, I accepted that apology and I went on with my, you know, college days. And honestly, that moment literally went down in history in college. Like, nobody messed with me anymore. It was like, okay, Jenny means business. We're not about to mess with her. She seems sweet and stuff, but just don't get on her bad side. So if you enjoyed this story time, oh, I enjoy telling it. But anyway, if you enjoyed the story time, do not forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you are notified of all the great things that we are doing here at One Voice. And I love you all, and I'll talk to you soon. Take me home.